Welcome back to Joyfully Yours podcast. We are excited about our episode today. We have an episode that's going to be so fun, the joy of grandparenting. I'm Tanya, one of your hosts.
And I'm Kimberly. I'm your other host. And we are so excited about our guest today. This is Ashton. I've known Ann for about 23 years since her baby and my two were in kindergarten. And Tanya's had the pleasure of knowing her
Since eighth grade.
Yeah, for about 15 years or so.
Yeah, so crazy.
That is amazing.
I know. Yeah. We are so excited you were here. We're so grateful that you took the time to chat with us because we are all in our grandparent era. And why don't you just tell us a little bit about yourself and your grandkids and your family.
Well, I'm very thankful for you too. Really, I mean, how the Lord has brought us together throughout the years and then reconnected us. And we just continue to do life in moments and seasons, which is so important to know life is in seasons,
That's
right?
good.
It's seasons.
I mean, that is just, there's a season for everything and there's a season for grandparenting. And mine started when I was still having a college student. I always thought grandparenting was going to be like, they're all out of the house and I get time to myself to go to Disneyland.
Right.
And then they start, and no, that's not how it happened.
Right.
We had, still a college kid. And then we started with one grandbaby. 3 months later, another grandbaby.
Wow.
Then a few years after that, I don't even think it was a few years. I've lost track.
Yeah,
I've got 9.
That would be hard to keep.
I've got
9
9 with one
grandbabies.
more on the way.
10 grandbabies.
Did you hear that? 10.
10.
10 by
She
December.
is the queen.
Yes.
We are acknowledging her queendom.
Yes.
And they come in pairs, but not by the same parents.
Right.
Not twins,
Right.
No, just cousin twins.
Yeah, it's just cousin. I love that.
And they all live within 15 minutes.
All of them?
All live within 15
That's
the
so
most beautiful
sweet.
thing. Yes.
It's beautiful and challenging.
Oh, okay.
What's the challenge with it? Do tell.
All the children at your house at once.
All the time.
Yes. The pop-ins, the constant,
Okay.
which is such a joy. It truly is such a joy.
Yeah.
But it does come with its own set of challenges.
Yeah.
Sure.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, let's dive right into this conversation and tell us about, I know you have 9, almost 10, but having the first one, what did that feel like? And this is just speaking as a grandmother. I mean, we always hear the grandparenthood is the greatest thing in the world, but what was that, having that first one like?
And how old is the first one? I'm sorry.
So the first one is a girl and she's 8.
Okay.
Wow.
And it was just surreal. Everybody's at the hospital. You're sharing her with her side of the family, the mom,
Right.
and then you are called in by your son, and to see your son holding, it makes me even cry, holding a little girl in his arms for the first time, he's a dad.
Yes.
And it just is mind blowing. There's nothing that compares to that moment when you see your kid become a parent
Right.
for the first time.
I agree.
Yeah.
And
I
then-
agree.
And then they just kind of lay there. The babies,
So sweet and innocent
Right.
and smell good.
I was just talking to another grandma and she's like, okay, I'm watching this newborn, 3-month-old all day long and it's kind of boring. I'm
Right.
like, it is a little bit.
But just wait.
Yeah. It gets more exciting.
Just wait,
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
Wait. Yes.
Because they grow up and they're just such joys.
Yes.
Such joys.
Yes.
But that was, I think, the thing that really stood out to me the most was my son holding his daughter, smiling as big as he could.
Right.
Like, he's an adult now.
Yes.
For real.
That's how I felt with my first. I have 2 and they're 15 months apart, but seeing my son again holding his little boy. And I just remember Kyle when he was young talking about his sons and, all he wanted to do with them, training them early and teaching them about business and sports and all of that. So it's just overwhelming, just love and just amazement. And I don't think anyone can. People always ask, like, what is it like? You don't know until you get there because no one ever could have helped me understood just the joy and the just how beautiful it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you?
I'm different. My
Yeah.
first and only grandchild is my daughter.
Yes.
So there are no words for how my heart exploded when she gave birth. Like I found myself in the corner weeping. Like I just had this overwhelming sense of, I don't even know what to call it, but it just felt like my heart just fully exploded watching her. I had the honor of watching her give birth. So being in the room, her husband on one side, I'm on the other side, like it just really, I came undone. I'm so serious. I came undone. And she was like, Mom, what happened? I don't know. I just had this overwhelming sense, but Kaizen is 6, will be 7, and she is the best mom. So not only watching her give birth, but watching her mother, wow, it is just one of the greatest joys of my life. So,
it is interesting about just talking about our kids. We're here talking about grandkids,
right?
But we can't do that without talking
about
our kids.
No, we can't. We can't.
No.
We can't.
It's so fun watching them grow up, and you see the faults in yourself that you pass down.
And I don't know about you, but I've learned how to zip it.
Yes,
I'm
that's
working
my favorite
on that.
part. Oh, really?
Really?
Zipping it.
Really?
Seriously, y'all?
Yeah.
How direct I am about this.
No, seriously, that didn't just come because that's really been important for us, just to not try to parent and, like she said, just zip it. And if they come to us for questions or with advice, of course we're gonna, offer it, but we don't really input until they ask.
Because I get checked real quick by my daughter. That's why. So,
and I just don't. Maybe because I have the son and the daughter-in-law.
Right, yours is different. Yeah.
Yes, I wait.
I need to learn from y'all. I mean, I'm just the other day, because here's one of the challenges. This is what started it. My grandson, who's 8, who came 3 months after the other one.
Oh, 2 8-year-olds.
I watched him for 13-hour days.
Oh.
It was an assignment from the Lord.
Wow.
It had to be.
It had to be. I can't do it now.
And that's supernatural.
I can't do it.
Whose
This
parent
was
is it? John's
and
son.
she was going for her master's.
Yeah.
She was, first of all, I don't think she was even going for a master's at the time. She was working overnight in the hospital.
Right. She's a nurse.
She's a nurse. And then she'd come home and need to sleep. So I'd take the baby
to your house, or would you be
I
there?
would be there until she got there, because I'd get there before the baby woke up and be there at 6 a.m. and then would continue on till about 2, when she would get a few hours sleep, come over and get him. But then she went and got her master's so she could be an NP. And that was another assignment, and that was longer days. So there were 12-hour days of raising that child 3 times a week.
Oh my goodness.
And I was
You're very invested.
involved.
Yeah. That's different.
Right. That is
that's
different.
Very different.
But then when they get back, I'm still learning how to step back and let them, because my first instinct, because I had so much time with him, was, hey, and
I
I'm
can
like,
understand that though.
There's a parent here. I can
Right.
let that go.
Yeah.
Right.
See, I'm just the filler. Like I've had a couple of out of town trips where I was in charge, but knew that moment of transition was coming. So that I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. How long did you do that?
Took her 2 years.
And
then
that's
was
different.
Probably 3 years before that, probably till he was in maybe 4 years. I'll go on the lesser side up until preschool.
That would be harder for me.
So even after 4 years later, you still struggle?
Because then the second child came and I was watching her.
So you're just full on, full time.
Yes.
I was, but I'm not anymore. And it's beautiful how to exit that, because I've had to it's so hard. It's so hard. You want to do everything for your kids.
Yes.
But then you also realize you just can't do it.
Right.
And so they've got to find a sitter.
They got to find
get the name.
Yeah.
They got to do
just
that.
like we did, right?
Yes.
That's what I forget. I didn't either. And I forget that sometimes. I'm like, wait a minute. I didn't have a me. So, it's okay. They will build character. They will go through. We say this to each other all the time. We don't have to do everything.
Exactly. But it's still hard.
You do Tuesdays though.
I do Tuesdays and any other time.
And how does that work for you? The parents aren't around on Tuesday, so it's you.
It's Lovey Land.
Oh, but it's the best thing in the world. But it's
how
just,
do you balance not saying something then?
I just don't. One, it's my daughter-in-law, which we have a beautiful relationship, and we had a whole episode about our relationship, but I just don't want to parent.
Yeah.
I just want her to, I just don't want to parent. I just want to be the grandma, and I just want to have fun, and I want to create experiences for the kids, but I do not want to decide, bedtime it's easier now because they're a little older, but I just don't want to make those decisions. And it's very freeing for me. Like I get to just, we spend the day together. We have a great time. We don't do anything that, the parents wouldn't want them to, but then I get to send them on, and I crash out on the couch after they leave.
Until next week.
Until next week or I got to, so it's been kind of, I guess, easier for me in a little bit. I just don't, it's easier for me to let go.
So can we go to a real question?
Sure.
So did you and your daughter-in-law or daughter have to have hard conversations did they have hard conversations with you about, Mom, this is my child? Or did they just how did that whole thing happen when you were realizing, they have a parent, but you'd already said something? So how did you maneuver in those situations?
That's a great question. First of all, one of my daughter-in-laws is Hispanic.
Okay.
And so she's got these beautiful eyebrows.
Okay.
And she'll just give me an eyebrow.
Okay. Okay. And you know what that means. That's good. That's her hard conversation.
That's the nurse.
Yeah. So, that's funny.
So there's that. And then I think with the other ones, we call each other challengers, and we just call each other out in the moment.
Right. That's good.
We don't let it fester.
I love that.
That's what Chandler and I do. It's we just deal with it.
Hey, I got it, or, Mom, whatever it is, or Annie, that's my grandma name, I got it. Or I see in one set of them, one of the dads, if he's there, he's just quick to whisk them. If there's something that needs to be addressed.
Okay.
So he'll go take them into a quiet space to talk to them.
Right.
So I'm like, that's great.
Right.
I'll be, and then
because he knows you, right?
Right.
He's like, I know it's coming.
Yeah. So it has, and then it's also been like you said, the Spirit. Sometimes I do hear the Spirit, and
yes,
I am corrected.
Yes,
and there are times where I'm like, I blew it again, especially right after we were doing that transition. When I didn't have to.
And it's okay to blow it.
It is. Okay. Give yourself some grace.
But I love the fact that you guys have established expectations of one another, and you know how to move past it so that it doesn't become a permanent issue.
Right.
And I think that's what a lot of people don't understand, how to do that.
I think the harder thing, at least for me, is having everybody in one's close.
Yeah.
And how to balance my time.
That's so good.
Because I've got a daughter-in-law whose family is in town.
Right.
I've got a daughter-in-law whose family is not in town.
Okay.
So the
one pulls the.
It's easier to be fully invested in my daughter.
Yes.
And the daughter-in-law whose family's not in town.
Right.
Because you need it and you're not stepping on each
right.
But the biggest challenge, and she knows this, so I can say this.
Yeah, we've talked about that.
Is how do I hold this family with as much love where it may not be as much time?
That's so good. So how do you do that?
Yeah.
I'm still working it out, y'all. I think the more kids they have, it gets easier. Like she's thinking about when she goes in to have this next baby, like I'm going to have to divide. I'm going to have to separate my kids. So now there's some of that we're there. I think honestly, just that they know love, that they know I love them and I love their kids just as much as any of my other grandbabies, but I'm not as involved in that side. That's a place where I've had to grieve and they've grieved.
Right.
And we haven't figured out a solution to it yet.
That's
we
good.
just keep the conversation going.
That's really good.
Talk about holidays.
Right.
What do y'all do about holidays? Do y'all have the other sides? Other parents?
The holidays was something that I was kind of stressed out about, but I went into this knowing that they know Thanksgiving is my time. That's when I do a big Thanksgiving. Everybody's welcome. And I thought because my daughter-in-law loved Christmas so much and her family does too, that we just wouldn't see her on Christmas. So we would see them the day before, the day after. But that young woman has, I don't know how they do it. They see everybody on Christmas. And we get like several hours, not just a pop in and get gifts and eat something. I mean, they start at their house with their 2 little kids. And then I don't remember the succession of everybody they see, but she has made a point to make sure that we all have time. And I never would have asked for it. And I certainly didn't expect it, but I'm so grateful for it.
That's
so, and then Thanksgiving, her family doesn't do a lot. So they're with me all day.
Smile.
Yeah.
But I would be willing to,
Of
you
course
know,
you would.
I would be willing to, of course I would be willing. It's
Of
not my
course you
choice
would.
anyway.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I would be willing to share, but
course
that's how we've handled holidays.
I defer. I mean, we don't have a holiday that's just mine. I don't cook on Thanksgiving. Sorry.
That's nice.
My mom does.
That's nice.
But I just defer to my daughter, where are you going to be for Thanksgiving or Christmas? And whichever one, I'll take the other.
Mhm.
But I usually see her for Christmas for sure. Sometimes it may be before Christmas, or it may be they leave on Christmas Day or something like that, but we work it out. And that's been easy. But I sought that out intentionally. My daughter married a young man from Brooklyn, New York. So I'll have Texas. And so I became a huge intentional friend of his mom, Charmaine. We have a wonderful friendship. And it was something that I intentionally wanted because I did not want there to be any type of angst on either side, because at the time they were here in Dallas. And so to this day, we have a chat, she, myself, and her sister, and it's called Kaizen's Tribe. So wherever he is, we put pictures in there, video, like we are very intentional about connection, because for me, being the mother of the daughter, I did not want I didn't want her to feel uncomfortable in any way. And like, my daughter will tell me stuff and I'm like, oh yeah, I already know. Yeah. How do you know? Charmaine, we talked about it. So she's like totally blown away by our relationship. And that's been one of the biggest gifts, I think, to me personally, is that my grandson knows he has 2 present, loving grandmothers. Like we went on a Disney cruise together, all of us. We went to Disney World together, all of us. And, you know, he's just so comfortable with his Brooklyn family and his Texas family.
That's so good.
And so I don't ever want there to be any reason that they feel like they have to choose, right? Because I don't like that. Yeah. And so I will make the deference. We just got back from kindergarten graduation because that's what we do.
Right.
We're a big clan. And so he has a big tribe. And so I'm so blessed by that. So that relationship is tight.
That's so good. And having a boy as your grand, do you feel how do I
know what you mean.
Okay, can you put it in words then?
Yes. Well,
we talked about this.
Talked about it. So before, because I've known Chandler for a long time,
right? But
still, you know, we're in a new season now, mother-in-law, daughter-in-law. So before, when I found out they were pregnant, I had a lot of anxiety, about, I'm the boy, you know, mother, I'm not going to have a relationship. I'm not going to see them. And because she has so much family here, and I adore her family. We're all very close, but I had a lot of anxiety about that. But I just can't say enough about Chandler because she has made everybody, just like Kaizen has his tribe, these boys, like we joke about when they start playing soccer or whatever, they're probably going to be like 30 people deep on the sidelines at 3 or 4 years old because we just,
they're so well loved.
They're so well loved. We show up for each other all the time. But Chandler and I have just talked about it from the beginning, and she had a really difficult delivery and birth, and I was the call. I don't know how, but when Kyle called, asked me to come in and take care of the baby so he can take care of her. In that moment, I realized it's going to be okay.
Yes.
And we all, Wendy, the other grandmother who I adore, gets her time, and Chandler's grandmother gets her time, and it's just all worked out. You know, there's no jealousy, there's no Canaan's, Canaan's over there doing something,
No
it's all good.
competition,
There's
right?
no competition.
Yeah.
We just all love him, and he's just the best thing. I know Kaizen does the same thing, but when he sees all his family together, he's like, everybody's here.
Yeah. So what's the vibe like at Annie's house when the grandchildren come over? Like, she has lovely land. What is Annie's house like?
She does the best activities and art and stuff. I want to come over there.
They were all just here Sunday.
All of them at one time?
Yeah. We're almost 20 deep. When this baby comes, because my youngest is dating somebody, so we include her now. So we can be 20 deep. Just
that's so beautiful.
That is.
You're bigger than the Waltons.
Yeah.
And I will not be at all the games.
Yes.
Too many.
It's too many.
I did that
unless
with
they're
my
on the same
kids.
team,
Unless they're on the same
Right.
team.
Yeah.
It is. That's already become a challenge. You got to pick and choose. But anyway, when they're all over, it is the first 30 to 40 minutes. It's total chaos.
Okay.
Think of dogs, when they first see their person, they're all over the place, and then they settle in. And I make sure there's a toy closet for them to pull out the toys from. There's a playroom that can sometimes be a guest room. Then there's Annie's room, and we get to go in there and watch shows when it's time for that.
Every place has
and then there's this front room where they just go and sit under the table and make imagination games. And then there's the backyard where there's a swing for them. So making places in the house for the grants. And then there's the art center. You always bring that up right on the table, right in the kitchen.
Right.
And some of them are doing that. So they all just kind of, as they've aged, it's interesting to watch the olders connect. And now I'm watching these youngers connect that have never really connected because they just, they do independent playing. They don't really care about anybody else. But now I'm watching this cute little relationship with these 3 and under.
Wow. Now, how many do you have, like 3 and under?
Oh, you have to ask that. I think I have 5, 6. I have 6. 6.
Gee.
Well, no, that's not true. 6, 5 and under. Is that what you asked me?
5 and under. Well, 3 and under, but 6, 5 and under. That's okay.
Because there's only one 5-year-old.
Okay.
Or
So
they're 2.
fun.
They're 2
They're
5-year-olds.
5-year-olds.
I get their names wrong. Do y'all get their names
I do
right?
that.
Well, I only have one, so.
But you don't call them your kids' name?
I do call him his uncle's name.
Yeah, that's what I do.
And he laughs all the
All
time
the
because
time.
I'm like, Jonathan, Jarrell, Kaizen.
I do that. We have a lot of K's and Cuz. So it's like Kennedy, Chandler, Kate.
You know who I'm talking to.
You know who I'm talking to.
Don't you sound like I sound like my grandmother with that.
Yes.
It's kind of scary.
See, this is the thing. My kids always give me a hard time about getting their names mixed. I have 4 kids, so getting their names mixed up. And now I'm hearing them get their kids' names.
Yes.
Oh, I love it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love it.
So now you understand.
Yes.
What's your husband's role like in all of this? Are you like you mentioned the time you went with your daughter-in-law and things? Was your husband with you? Was he off doing his thing and came in and played, or like what was his thing?
That's such a great question. He has endured multiple unemployments.
Oh, okay.
Multiple unemployments and just layoffs and rifts and things like that. And some of them have been longer than others, and some are too long that I don't even like them. But I love my husband.
I know.
But
Yes.
Season.
Yes.
But I look back at that season and what a joy that was to have him with me, especially with the first 2.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh my word. We were able to really connect. We'd have them over. We'd both be on the floor playing with them.
You're establishing your grandparent
Yes.
life together.
Right. I love that.
Yes, it was so sweet. And then he has this thing in his office because he works from home now. And it's jelly beans. So all the kids, if they go potty, they get jelly beans. Well, the young ones who aren't going, they've learned that there's
to get the jelly beans
at Pappy's place. You know?
Right.
So they run down for the jelly beans. They run in multiple times on video Zoom calls on while he's having a business call.
Yeah, mine too. Yeah.
And he just laughs.
Yeah.
And it was interesting. We were just at an event at the beginning of this year, and somebody spoke into his life and he said, "You're not just a jelly bean granddaddy."
Wow. Ooh, gave me chill bumps.
That's sweet. Because he
Wow.
could think of himself as
As a
just a
jelly
jelly
bean.
bean granddaddy.
Mhm.
He's so much more.
Right.
And that has spoken to both of us, I think. And I think he's approached grandparenting as a little more intentional,
Yeah.
Mhm.
where he could have been the side,
Right.
Yes.
you know, especially as he's gotten work. And that's called him
Yes.
away for more of the time. And I do most of the work with the grandbabies,
Yes.
unless we're watching them over a weekend.
Right.
And I'm beginning to realize that I prefer having him by my side
Right.
when
Yeah.
I'm watching more than
Yeah.
three.
That sounds like you.
Yes, it does sound like me.
It's
Yes,
very helpful.
Yes, my oldest thinks that my husband lives at the airport because he's always,
Always
leaving. Yeah,
Because he travels a
he
lot.
travels a lot, but I always think about like his trip this week was he left on Wednesday, so he was there on Tuesday,
Mhm.
and so it was really nice because I really try to pull him away sometimes, and I'm
Yeah.
usually
Yes.
and just come down and do a little dinosaur play because I think he needs it too. Because
Yeah,
lots
absolutely.
of times I'm going up, so you all can continue to
Yeah.
going up to work, so
Right.
you all can
I'll be
continue to
back.
do all this. I'll be back. So it's nice when he's there on Tuesday.
Yeah.
So they love to see him. He has a little basketball goal in his office, and he'll stop what he's doing and shoot baskets with them and pick them up and all of that. But I love the relationship
Mhm.
that he's building with them. I think it's
Yes.
softening him too
Yeah.
a little bit
Yes.
too,
Yeah.
which I love to
Yeah.
see, just relaxing him a little bit.
Yeah.
So
I
Yeah.
agree.
yes, yeah,
It's so fun.
Yeah.
yes.
Oh man, my husband's
I know Pastor Norris.
well, he sometimes gets really uncomfortable that he's going to do the wrong thing.
Mhm.
So he'll call me a lot. Okay.
Oh,
How many cookies can he have?
Right.
How many marshmallows can he have? But one particular memory, I think Ariel and Kyle went on a trip and we had to keep him for like 4 days.
mhm.
And Saturday night, my husband's a pastor. So Sunday morning, he's got to get ready for church. Saturday night, he just started fussing. He's like 4 or 5 months. And we had to get in the car and drive around the
Yes.
neighborhood.
Oh,
And
wow.
so my husband, he's like, okay, let's go drive around. And so we drove around until he fell asleep. And I'm thinking it's probably almost 10:30, 11 o'clock at night, but it was not a thought for him. He's like, okay, we've done this before. We know
Yes.
what they need.
Mhm.
So let's go drive them around. And it worked. And so it's just
So
been
sweet.
sweet to see him as a granddad. He's always more patient than me. And he's always been very patient, but he has another level of patience
Right.
with Kaizen and definitely a lot more yeses.
Yes.
A lot more yeses. Yes, 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 yes.
You want gummies? Sure. Go
Yeah.
have another pound.
Why not? Yeah.
Do you have do you ever get one-on-one time with your grandkids?
Yeah.
And how do you do that, or do you? Or
That's a great question because there's nobody who has one.
Mm.
The first thought that came to mind is trying to make intentional time with my daughter and daughter-in-laws.
Oh, yeah. That's
For
good.
when I-
Girl
for when
time.
it is. So we usually always go out and celebrate together, but then I also either need to be intentional. Sometimes I'm like, hey, can you go to lunch with me?
Right.
Or they're like, can I pop in after drop off and visit with you?
Oh.
I find like that intentionality is so important to me.
Mhm.
And then it feeds down into the kids.
To the
I
kids.
rarely get one-on-one time
Okay.
with
Yeah.
each, but there are times and opportunities. I just had my 8-year-old, he was at the door and his present had arrived he's going to turn 8. His present arrived at my front door and it was not in a box.
Oh.
So he's
You don't do
leaving
that anymore,
to go
right.
home and he sees his box.
Is that mine?
And he knew it was. I
Right.
said, do you want to stay a little bit longer? And so we did early birthday
Oh,
with his
that's
present. And
was
I
it
got
just him? And you? Oh,
And I got just him. The other kids went home
right.
and they came back from a few hours later, but that was so sweet. It was so sweet. And I had my daughter, my granddaughter, my oldest granddaughter, and we were together. I did an overnight with her. I think it was an overnight. I try to incorporate that as they get a little older.
Right.
Yes.
One. It's very slow, but we made a book together.
Oh, that's
And
sweet.
she would do the artwork and then we just kind of kept talking out the story and
Right.
she pulled it together. So it's challenging because I could be with a grandkid every day of the week, every day of the month.
Yeah.
Right. But so as they get older, though, do you think that's something that you would try to focus? Yes, because I would too.
The 5, once they get to be about 5, 6, where you really can have that interaction and that conversation with them. Yes.
Do you get to do? I know you
I
sometimes.
do, and I like that. Just have had it with both, but just had one-on-one, especially because they're so close in age, and like Kanan is almost 3 and he's, doing things that Maddox thinks he can do, but he really can't. And so just to be able to give him that undivided attention, and then also to give Maddox undivided attention because he's never really had it from me because it's always been the two of us. So I think it's important, and definitely I would want to do that as they get older too, just like you would do with your own kids. You have 4 kids. I'm sure you had to find times to give, them undivided attention.
I think it's also great because you can still give undivided attention when they're all there. I try to make sure I do that. So if there's a little one that needs eyeball time, and not that they're getting in trouble, but I pick them up and I just listen to their story.
That's good.
Yes.
Even in the midst of all of them, I will continually
That's
do
hard
that.
for me now, though.
Well, they're very active.
For me, that would be hard.
And they're saying, hey, how about me? And if there's just 2, how about me? I'll be with you in a minute. I'm going to do
That's good.
this eyeball time right here, this one-on-one. So I create it even in the midst. It's even in the midst.
Right. Again, you have to do what you have to do.
Yeah. And God gives you grace for that. So that's how you accomplish it. So it sounds like you have, you said you have 9, almost 10. So you have 4 children. So how are the numbers spread out amongst your children in terms of how many people have?
So my oldest has 3.
Okay.
My second born, who started before everybody, is going to have 5.
Okay.
And then my daughter has 2, and then my youngest is dating a girl.
Okay, so your daughter has 2. Does she desire more?
Yes, she does.
And so how do you balance?
That's been hard. She's really been longing to have more. Sorry if you don't want that known out there.
Sorry.
But I know that. I whether she would tell people that or not, you can tell she's such a great mom, and she loves kids.
Right.
And
She's
so
I remember her. She was such a sweetheart. I remember from high school how sweet she was all the time.
So they're longing. So you carry this longing in the midst of these other ones that haven't struggled in that area, but it's that tension of carrying joy and sorrow at the same time. But isn't that life?
Yep.
It is life.
That's life.
We all raising our kids.
Right.
I was either in joy or sorrow, and I could be at the same moment.
same moment.
We still
at
are
the same time. Exactly.
Yes.
And so how do you, what would you say to a grandmother who obviously you love all your children and all your grandchildren? So how do you do anything different in those moments as you're praying one through and celebrating the other?
I think the biggest thing has been to not water down either.
That's good.
Yes, that's good.
And I can be fully present and enjoy for you.
That's good.
And I can be fully present and praying
and support
and hope for you.
I love that.
That's really good, Anne.
You can't water down for somebody else. You can't,
it wouldn't be fair.
No. So when one has a success, I have others that are looking for jobs.
Yeah.
Right.
And one that doesn't have a problem, others that don't have a problem with it. And it's like, okay, hallelujah on your success and hallelujah on what's coming for you.
I love that. I love that.
Yes, that's really good.
So
hallelujah anyway.
Yes.
in the midst,
y'all.
It's I know that when I was raising the kids, it was right in the midst of the messy and the horrible and the awful that's where I praise Jesus.
Amen. That's when you need him.
Yep.
Yeah. But it's like we talk a lot about on the podcast about intentionally finding joy. And so even in those moments where I'm praying through or, we praise the Lord for the 2 beautiful children that she has, still believing that her heart's desire will manifest in due season. And so you talked about that earlier about there's seasons of life. Like we couldn't have had this conversation, 5 years ago? Like I would have been so newbie as a grandparent. I wouldn't have even known. I would just be here just googly eyed.
Right.
But now I'm here present with my own story, but also receiving from you both because I only have one grandchild. So I'm thinking, okay, when I do have a daughter-in-law, okay, I'm going to talk to you. And Lord, if I ever have 9, I'm definitely talking to you because I don't know what I would do with 9.
It's a lot.
I admire that so much because I can feel your love for all of them.
And every time I see your pictures when you do share on social media, I'm just in awe.
Yes.
I don't ever think, oh my goodness,
No,
I could never.
It's like Anne's a rock
wow,
star.
She's amazing. And I know it's a lot. I mean, it's that's a lot of little people, but I just think it's so beautiful. And I just love watching your activities with them. And I'm always encouraging you to do all those little extra things like your little book or show that we've talked about.
Yes.
Yes, because I think you can provide a lot of wisdom to grandparents because you have not the seasons, but the ages of the kids and just the emotion of just from 1 to 2 to 3, 1 to 2 back to back. And then the emotion of it all, because just having the 2, the emotion was just overwhelming a little bit. So I don't even know how do you?
The Lord's beautiful.
He really is.
He expands.
Yeah.
He does.
We saw that with our kids.
Right.
We didn't have more love for one kid over another.
Nope.
He just expands.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't know your heart can expand so much more. So waiting to embrace this number 10 is as exciting as waiting to embrace the number 1.
Oh, my goodness.
That's beautiful.
That is so beautiful.
That's beautiful.
Yes, I wanted to hear that from you.
Yeah,
that's one of the
beautiful.
things we talked about. Wow.
One of the things that I love, I've heard you say, I can't be at everything. So I love that you're okay with that. You're not guilted into that. So is that something you just always embraced, or did you really have to work on that?
I thought about this moment when I was on the baseball fields having 3 boys.
Okay.
Right.
Baseball, I don't love baseball.
Right.
I can be on any football field.
Okay.
If any of my kids are playing football, I will be at every game.
Yeah.
I can be.
Right.
But the sports that are lesser to me in my heart, I thought, and Texas Heat.
Yes.
Texas
For
Heat.
sure.
Right.
Baseball's in the middle of Texas
in the
Heat.
middle of it, yes.
I'm
there are
like,
a lot of games too.
I have
Yes.
paid my dues, and
I'm
I
with
have
you.
told my kids ahead of time, I paid my dues. I don't feel bad when I can just pop in for a little bit of the game.
Right.
I like the indoor flag football.
Basketball's
Right.
great.
Yeah, basketball,
Yes. Volleyball,
Those are
basketball.
great,
Yes.
So I'm okay with it because I know if I did it, I would be angry.
Right.
And I don't want to have anger.
No,
No.
we want
them
joy.
or
Yeah, we
resentment.
want-
no
yeah,
resentment.
joy.
We want
Yes.
joy.
So it has, like either the Lord's going to change my heart and I'm going to
Right.
be running around every single weekend,
No,
Right.
every single
no.
game. But I don't
I don't
it's not
feel
even
that.
possible.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And
It's not
they're okay with
possible.
it too because they realize
That's
Mom,
beautiful.
there's no way you can do
Right.
I love
Right.
that.
The kids can call you and tell you about
Yeah.
their day.
Or
about
send
their game or
iPhone,
something.
send
Yes,
videos.
Send videos
That's
or
exactly
Yes.
whatever.
what I get. Yes.
And I think
Yeah.
some grandparents need to hear that.
Right.
Mhm.
I need to hear that.
Mhm.
Yeah, as long as I have 2, I think I can make them. But if I
Right.
was to have more, I would.
Yeah.
I needed to hear that.
No,
because-
we had to. Well, maybe you don't have 2 boys. I had to pick and choose even when my
Mhm.
kids were growing.
Yes,
because there were
yes,
games that
right.
conflicted. You know,
Right.
Now I got a little cheerleader granddaughter. coming out. It's
Mhm.
like, and then tumbling or dance
Yes.
or whatever it is. It's like, okay, those are going to be fun because my daughter didn't do those.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
Right.
She was raised around sports.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. One of the things I appreciate about my daughter is she knows my life.
Right.
She knows I have a full life. So she will get on my calendar months in advance. And she'll send me calendar invites. Mom, add it to your
Right.
calendar because she knows. And I appreciate that she flows with me.
Right.
And if I already have something on my calendar, it's okay. She's like, okay.
Exactly.
But then she'll look for another date.
Yes,
But I
yes.
just appreciate the way we flow together because
Mhm.
I don't feel that I have to say yes all the time.
Right.
And I feel like, okay, she knows if I could do it,
Right,
I
you
would.
do it.
Exactly.
And the fact that I said, no, I can't.
Right.
And so no strain, no stress, no struggle, no issue.
Right.
Praise the Lord. Let it remain that way.
Yes.
Because it just helps me to have the joy of
Right.
grandparenthood.
Yes. Yeah, I have the same thing with my daughter-in-law too. She just knows that, if I can do it, I will do it. But even yesterday, I was leaving a coffee with a friend and I got a text. We're going to La La Land from this time to this time, no pressure at all. But if you want to come, and she does that not often, but sometimes, and sometimes I just can't or don't feel like getting out of the house.
Don't want to get dressed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yesterday I was already out. I thought I am going to, it was like a 20-minute window. I could still do all my other stuff. And I'm so grateful that, but there wouldn't have been any, like, oh, she doesn't want to see her kids or anything.
Right.
She was
I'm
giving
not
me
going to invite her the next time.
Right.
That's
She's like,
beautiful.
I'm too close.
That's
I'm
beautiful.
Give you the opportunity.
Because she
to
knew
come
you
in.
wanted it.
Yeah, she knew I wanted it. But
That's
she also
beautiful.
knows that sometimes I just can't. Can't do it. Yes.
So what are the fun things that Annie does with her? Well, we talked about that. So does that bring you joy when you are in those moments of chaos, as you called it?
Yes, it does. It really does. Cleaning up afterwards, like I was vacuuming yesterday. It had been since Sunday. So that was, 3 days.
Yeah.
And behind a couch pillow, I saw a bag of half-eaten chips.
Yeah.
I love that. That was in the front room that I don't use very often.
Yeah.
I was
Right.
like, that's a joy.
Yes,
That
that
is.
is.
You
That's
see
good.
little, remembrances.
There's
of
life
them.
here.
Yes.
Little
so
people.
much of it.
Yes.
The biggest thing that I love is when they're about 2 to 3 to 4, bringing out the baking soda with a spray bottle of vinegar and hiding colors, food coloring
Right.
in it, and they start spraying it out back, and all of a sudden this volcanic,
Oh, I
color,
missed
do
that.
that on
lit-
Tuesday.
midst of
Yes,
color
right.
starts erupting, and they get so excited. Watching discovery through your grandkids' eyes.
Yes.
There's nothing
nothing
else
better.
like that. When you know what's going to happen.
Yes.
But then they
But
just
they don't.
stay.
Yeah.
Or, the cicadas that are all around right now,
Yes,
their
so.
dead little bodies, and
Yeah.
watching one of them hammer the dead body
Yeah.
and the other one going, no, I don't want anything to do with it.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
that's
just great.
A few weeks ago, Kaizen, I have a walking pad at home. And so he didn't know what it was. And so he got on the walking pad and I just would increment the speed, and his eyes just kept getting big. And he got this
What's
big
going
grin
on?
on his face. And I was like, that just made me so joyful watching him have joy with something that simple. And he kept every day then, okay, I had to hide the remote because I was too concerned that he might do it and I wasn't paying attention. So he's like, gee, mommy, can I get on the walking pad again? And I'm like, well, we'll wait because I couldn't be present. But that was so joyful to me just to see him enjoy. And as the speed was increasing, his smile was increasing.
Yes.
So that was fun too.
The best thing is when they run up to you.
Oh, yeah.
Can we just talk about that for a
Yes.
second? What is
Yes.
that like for you when you just meet them in the front yard and arms wide
Yes.
open?
Love.
Well,
Yeah.
that happened yesterday when they didn't know I was coming, and I was standing outside of the coffee shop, and they all come running, and there's Lovey. So yeah, that was really sweet. Love
Grandparenthood is
Yes.
a beautiful
It's
thing.
a special relationship.
It
And
is.
that's why another reason I think it's hard to explain, because you love your children dearly.
Yeah.
My son sometimes teases, who do you love more? Love me or Kanan?
Love
But
differently,
there-
not more. It's a different type
just
of love.
different.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
But it's just a special bond and a special relationship, and just being able to, just support their parents and be part of their village, and not raise them, but support them, and just be, just be grandma and grandpa. It's just nothing better.
Have fun.
And I'm thinking about the people that don't live near their grandkids. We've talked about that.
I was
bit.
that way for 2 years.
Yeah.
And were all your parents around when y'all were raising your kids?
No.
Were there
No,
their
none.
grandparents around?
None.
Not mine either.
Mm-mm.
And so but one set of my husband's mom
Mm-hmm.
was so intentional.
Mm-hmm.
And that she would come and sit on the floor and play with them every time they came. My parents just wanted to be with me because we didn't see each other very often.
Yes.
They loved their
Wow.
grandkids, but
Mhm.
it was a very different relationship.
Right.
Now, my husband's mom would get on the floor and play with them,
Right.
and they still are in communication with her,
Yes.
even
Oh,
as she
that's
lives
beautiful.
far
Yeah.
away. And
Mhm.
she's had some health issues. Are you doing okay?
Right.
It's just sweet that even if that grandparent can't be
Mhm.
nearby,
Right.
you can be so intentional, just
Right.
like your group. Of
Right.
grandparents.
My
And you
children,
were.
my parents didn't live here, nor did my husband. We're from Louisiana. But every summer, my children would go and spend 2 weeks in Louisiana. 1 week with my family, my
Oh, wow.
parents,
Mhm.
and 1 week with my in-laws. And we also coordinated with my sister-in-law who had children. So they would be there. So they had the cousins
The
and the
cousins.
grandparents. And so even to this day, my children talk about that, how they didn't like going,
Mhm.
but they love it now.
Mhm.
And they each have individual relationships with their grandparents.
Right.
Texting, they have a group chat. They text all the time.
Mhm.
And so, I think it's the creating the intentionality, even with them being away.
Right.
And that was before
Phones.
video.
Phones,
Yes.
right, all of
Yeah.
that.
That was before
Conferencing,
phones. Yeah.
FaceTime.
Right.
Yeah, I could have done better with that because I guess we were just here
Living
and
life.
yeah, just living life and went home as much as we could, but
Mhm.
didn't send them. I always thought I would send them, but
Mhm.
it just never happened. I don't know why.
I was working at the time, and this one person said to me, she goes, I could never be without my kids for 2
Mhm.
weeks. How can you do that? And I said, I'm doing it for them.
For them, right?
And I'm doing it for my parents.
That's good.
Because when I'm around, it's going to be me and my parents.
Right.
They won't have that one-on-one time with my
Right.
children.
Right.
But if I'm not around,
Right.
then they can develop their own relationship. And I was so thankful because in 2005, my dad passed away, but my children have such solid memories, even now, of their time with my dad. And
Wow.
so that's something they can teach their children.
Right.
And so that's how legacy goes forth.
That's right.
Is those relationships. And so that's important to me because I grew up with my grandparents, all my grandparents on the same street,
Oh, wow.
or my other grandparents 2 miles away. So
Okay, that's
I
wonderful.
grew up in the village.
That's wonderful.
Mhm.
Yes.
That same grandma would have each of my kids when they turned 14.
Oh, that's
all
sweet.
the way in Florida.
That's sweet.
We'd fly them or
Oh,
drive
yeah.
them, and
Right.
they'd have that one-on-one time for
Yeah.
a week with them.
It's beautiful.
Wow.
So long
No,
distance
it's-
grandparents
yes.
can be
Can work.
intentional.
Yes,
You
right.
got to work at it
Well,
though.
I'm glad that I don't have to. I don't have to worry about that because the moment mine found out they were having a baby, they moved back to Texas,
And they're
from
never
California,
leaving.
and they're never leaving
Mm-mm.
unless I go with them, is what I've been told.
You
and I'm
can't
not-
go. We have joyfully yours.
Exactly. We have stuff to do.
Yeah, you do.
Well, and you have been a joy.
Yes.
Thank you.
This
You
has
guys-
blessed
So
my
easy.
heart. So easy.
So are y'all.
Yes.
I mean, we just talk anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. The
So,
stuff that we
so
would
much
be-
wisdom though. Like I'm
Mhm.
hiding seriously in my heart
Right.
for when I have
when it, yes.
more. In due time. I'm
Yeah,
not rushing
time.
anyone,
Right.
but in due time.
And when your sons have.
When my
Yes.
sons, yes,
Yeah.
I will be calling you guys.
Mhm. Yes. Well, I think we're going to close it out now. Okay.
Okay.
And we just want to thank you for joining us for this conversation on the joy of grandparenting. We hope it inspired you to embrace the joy, wisdom, and influence that comes from this beautiful season of life. We love to hear your thoughts and connect with us on Instagram and subscribe to our YouTube channel at the Joyfully Yours podcast and join the conversation. Until next time, may your days be full of joy and may you find joy in the beautiful, simple moments of life.